The Los Angeles Gladiators came into this matchup looking to stay undefeated in Stage 2. They handily defeated the Florida Mayhem at the beginning of the week and looked to keep that momentum going against the Hunters. Chengdu is known for their lack of 3-3 composition, instead favoring DPS heroes and a wrecking ball for a tank. The Gladiators have been experimenting with interesting DPS compositions, as Lane Surefour Roberts playing Mei on Hanamura, so fans were excited about the multitude of heroes that hopefully would be played in this game. Gui Un Decay Zhang on the Sombra kicked off the map with a kill on Jiang Un Roar Jai, followed up with another, and the Gladiators were able to quickly take the point. However, on Busan, the Gladiators seemed to fall asleep and the Hunters immediately took the point back. Chengdu continued to do most of the fighting on the point and took the point back after the Gladiators had amassed 66%. However, after some cheeky attempts from the Hunters, the Gladiators took the first point. On Shrine, Chengdu came in on a DPS composition and the Gladiators continued their anti-DPS composition. Los Angeles played very aggressively, making sure that the Hunters' Widowmaker could not have any sightlines. The Gladiators completely shut down the Hunters on the second point. Main tank Roar did not die in the entirety of Busan. The Gladiators won the map on a final score of 2-0. Surefour was subbed in by the Gladiators as he had done for the past few games for them on their second map, this time Hanamura. Jonas Shazuvara started the map as Roadhog and Benjamin Big Goose Isohani as Baptiste. The Hunters played great defense and the Gladiators barely scraped by. After a battle mercy kill from Big Goose, the Gladiators somehow took point A with only a few seconds to spare. Yi Jinmu, who as far was playing out of his mind on this defense. With 30 seconds left, the Gladiators started their final attack, taking their first tick on the point. After an intense overtime, the Gladiators finished with just over 2 ticks. Surefour ran the Mei once again, while the Hunters opted for a Symmetra to get behind the Gladiators. Joa Pedro Hydration Goes Tellus was able to get multiple kills as Junkrat, and Decay showed his prowess as Widowmaker. The Hunters were able to take first point with just over 130 left in the time bank. The Gladiators stalled as long as they could, but they were overpowered by Jinmu and the Hunters. The Chengdu Hunters took Hanamura on a final score of 2-1. Chengdu started the map of Eichenwald on attack and were able to find the kill on Decay early. The Hunters found a way to get 2 ticks on the point, but the Gladiators were very much in control for most of the defense. With just under 30 seconds, the first point was finally taken by Chengdu. The Gladiators continued their aggressive playstyle, holding the Hunters at the first gate. Decay got a lot of great hacks off as Sombra, making sure the Hunters did not have a player advantage. Chengdu were able to push the payload to the first corner of the castle, but a strong defensive hold from LA stopped them quickly in their tracks. The Gladiators then on their attack took the first checkpoint in the first fight, giving them just under 5 minutes to push just past the castle. Los Angeles were able to keep the Hunters separated while Hydration and the rest of the Gladiators strolled on to the victory in Eichenwald with a final score of 2-1. The Gladiators' aggressive defense seemed to fail them early on as Roar and Zhongwu Void Kang fell, but picks onto a few members of the Hunters led to a reset for the attacking team. Los Angeles showed their ability to run the 3-3 composition with Decay switching over to the Zarya. Everything the Hunters tried seemed to fail them, with the Gladiators having to answer to each and every composition that Chengdu tried. Shaz on the Moira was lethal. Somehow in overtime, the Hunters almost got the first point, but the Gladiators were able to somehow get back onto the point. Just before the first point, Los Angeles held firm. Hydration started off as Bastion and they handily took the point. With almost no time at all, the Gladiators stomped the defense of the Hunters. They quickly finished the game and came out with a win. The Gladiators won on Junkertown with a final score of 1-0. This match featured almost every hero with the exception of Ashe and Reaper. The Gladiators continued their aggressive playstyle and it worked for them. Their ability to match up with everything the Hunters threw at them was very impressive. Hydration played extremely well, as did Decay. There was nothing the Hunters could do and the Gladiators improved to 6-0 in Stage 2. Can anyone stop the Gladiators? Los Angeles has a bye week in Week 4 and they return against the Boston Uprising in Week 5. The Los Angeles Gladiators defeated the Chengdu Hunters on a final score of 3-1.